Our guests want balayage, and they're coming in with a starting level of 1. And a desired level of 7. Oops, they have no previous chemicals. Porosity is good. They have full density, but they have fine hair. It's a wavy texture. They also want red. And in this case, I think it said 100 is what I rolled, which is kind of a funny scenario. So this is where we have to be a little bit creative. It says they don't have any previous color. So they're coming in 100% gray, but they want balayage, and their desired tone is red. So we know that we're not just doing a balayage, we've got to lay down a base color as well. So the starting level 1, maybe their natural level, let's say that they're 100% gray in front, and they have really, really dark hair in the back. Down at their nape, they have very dark hair, it appears to be black, but they're like 100% white near the front. They still want those red tones and a balayage on their fine, full-density hair.
I'd leave the 100% white hair and make it bright with the tint. And probably freehand the back.
I think that's a good move.
Yeah.
I think that's a good move.
Yeah. Get it to an orange.
I was thinking, okay, do we do a global colour, leave out some of the white mid-length, balayage some of the back? It gets too complicated, doesn't it?
Yeah, and we've got to think about maintenance. Usually when somebody's wanting to go to blonde from really dark color, my first question is, where do you want your hair to be a year from now? Because those are kind of the implications. And so I'm like, we could bleach the heck out of the nape if you want to be wearing like a bob a year from now. I don't know. There isn't there also, one of the things in this is there isn't a hair length dye, because usually we can kind of let porosity help tell that story. After saying, if you want a bob, saying she's got a porosity of 1 to 2, she probably already has a bob. Her hair's not very long. It hasn't had a chance to get very porous.
Of course.
It's a really full bob.
Yeah.
A very full bob. I could even think about going more using foliage. So basically going through with different multi-tonal, warmer reds, and maybe using some tipping as well. So you're getting a balayage effect, but almost keeping the natural in there, but adding some natural through the 100% white. So it's almost like low lights and highlights, really, but with a bit of tipping. Yeah. But that way, the maintenance would be quite low.
I love that. So maybe like you're using Rachel,
it's
like
a tough one, and I think,
kind of like
in the back.
I would like freehand throughout.
Yeah,
probably a bit similar, maybe a combination. You could do like a freehand with tint, like an ultra lifting red, maybe put in lighter tones, but then melt it out with like a gloss over the top to kind of soften it a bit. Making it a bit more dimensional, and like you say, like Sarah said, like keeping some of her natural through. Doing it that way, but leaving out that face frame just for that extra like pop.
It's like your white money piece, essentially.
Yeah,
I don't know. And then you know what I love when I do foliage. One of my favorite things is air touch, where take the section and blow out the shorter hairs. I like to use that for low lights. But instead of low lighting the long hairs left in your hand, you pull those aside and low light the short hairs, and that way they don't mess up your longer hairs at the end. But you get that low light that naturally blends into the lighter ends.
Yeah, I love the epiphany. I like that. We've just had. We've literally just.
I know. I'm like, mind blown.
Oh my God!
Amazing. Yeah, I like that.
I love that. See how we can have a scenario where we literally have a client that comes into each of our salons, and we will find a different way to do what they've requested.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
cool.
And you end up running like scenarios that you wouldn't, when you're working in the salon with somebody and you ask them for like a second opinion. You're like, hey, what do you think about this formula? Maybe this person walks in while you're not there. It's there's like only so much brain picking you can do in the moment, but it's a really cool way to like interact with your favorite salon buddy on an imaginary scenario that you might not have thought of.
Yeah, that's normally me doing voice note and Sarah on Instagram.
Should we add in a second service die and see if we can complicate it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Ooh, we got a vivid, so I get to roll the vivid die too. Yes. Okay. Our guest wants a vivid with some low lights. We'll find out exactly what that means. The desired level is 2. They have coarse hair. It's also curly. Their starting level is very, very light. It's a 10, which makes sense because this one tint back bleach. They've had bleached hair before and colored over the top of it. And so it may be fading. It's certainly still bleached. It just may be darker on top. Full density, which would explain why their porosity is 3 to 5. Also an indicator that their hair is pretty long because they have so many porosities. Also have 70% gray, either throughout or in particular spots on their head. And they want oil slick colors.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Here's the bleached, colored back. You can't have oil slick today. Do either do extensions?
Yeah.
No.
I'll give you some tapes. That'll be fine.
Right.
My goodness.
So starting level, we've got light.
They're very light. I'm assuming that this means they're light below the hair that's been tinted back.
And the desired level is 2.
So I'm assuming what that means is that they're wanting some, they've already bleached their hair, they've colored it back, it's probably really porous and faded, and they're wanting some dark hair in between some pops of this vivid color.
I'd probably do like a root, a reverse balayage root melt, keeping out some of their own colour, but then maybe melting the base out a little bit, and then going in with a vivid over the woven bits out.
Like maybe on the stuff where the color's already faded.
Where it's faded, yeah, because obviously if it's already porous, you're not going to want to relift it. So I'd probably. What color is the vivid?
Oil slick.
Oil slick.
It's
oil slick. What color?
Like a gray. You see like an oil leak on the pavement, and you have like greens and blues and purples. It's almost like sort of galaxy
like
colors.
chameleon color.
So I would personally do the same or similar. Keeping the depth for the root melt. So that's where you're getting the darker level and maybe bringing some through because we're wanting a highlight effect, low light effect.
Yeah.
And then also keeping some of those ends out to oil slick. So you get that sort of galaxy and almost in ribbons.
Yeah.
Rather than a melt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're
getting a ribbon effect.
Multi-place the colour. So maybe like each section's like multi-tonal.
I like that.
Beautiful.
Yeah, just hoping
I like
the ends have faded enough.
Yeah.
Have you ever used the Malibu Sea products?
Yes.
If this person maybe hadn't faded enough, but I knew they were bleached under there, I think I'd do the same thing y'all did, but maybe use some CPR to try to lighten the ends if they hadn't lightened enough. That way we're not doing like an oxidative process.
Yeah,
that's good.
I like that.
How much would you guys charge for something like that?
Helps.
Let's say you had to do the CPR too. How long do you think this would take? And what do you think you would charge?
Well, I work in packages in my salon. So if it was like colour correcting and doing colour, I'd say about £300 because it could take like 4 to 6 hours depending.
Just the CPR alone could take an hour and a half.
So I would charge around £300 for that.
And if we have got low integrity, the hair was coily. Was it coily? Was it? Yeah.
Coily.
So we're going curly. Okay. So, lacking in lipids, trying to rebuild, keep the integrity, and also maintain that porosity at a lower level. So yeah, you're going to need 3-4 hours, I would say. I mean, the hard work's pretty much done. Because the lightness is already there. It's just trying to remove any film residue color from previous applications and trying, as you say, using that CPR to bring it up. So it is about also post maintenance. What you're going to take home, the products, how they're going to maintain that color as well. I mean, it's hard when you've got an oil slick vivid. But, maybe giving them a few different coloured conditioners to take home or something that can help maintain a bit of that as well.
My only reservation would be just telling them, look, this color might not even stay past your first shampoo. Or only the color that you don't like will probably stay. You'll get the purple will turn green, the blue will turn purple, and the green will be there.
The blue will, everything will look a bit minty green at the end.
In my area, probably.
I mean, that's a big job.
It's a big job. I feel like all color is big now, though. When I first started doing hair, it was my color appointments are an hour and a half. Highlights were 2 hours. My highlights are 3.5 hours. They just
absolutely. And things are more. Everyone's hair's coloured generally, so half the time it can be colour correction that you're doing when you're coming in, even if it's just a little hint of correction. There's always something that you're doing. Absolutely.
Exactly.
There are a lot of clients that also think they are colorists, take themselves off and maybe, I've just been using this violet shampoo, it's fine. Or, which makes our job easier.
No.
Yeah, so much easier. All right. So our guest is coming in asking for highlight as well as a balayage. They could be just asking for the exact same thing. That's one of the things I like about this too, is because sometimes guests will ask for stuff and they're not asking for the right thing, or they'll ask for something twice.
No.
Coily hair.
That means bad. I want to be ash, but I don't want to be ash.
They're like, I want like ash, but like red, right?
Yeah. I want ash, but I want it gold.
Our starting level is 1, which means they have dark hair, but they have patches of complete white in their hair. High porosity, which goes with the fact that they've got coily hair. Medium density with medium diameter hair. They've had a perm. That's a complication. Maybe that's why their hair is coily. It's like coily on the ends because they got a really tight hair. But we're gonna guess that their new growth is a little bit straighter. And they want red violet? Oh, maybe. Oh, it's a vivid. So what do we have here? All right, they're asking for everything. Because now I have a yellow to blue fade here. All right, this is one of the weird ones.
Yeah.
I'm going to say they have very dark natural hair, complete white patches, pretty high porosity on the ends because of that coily perm that they have. I'm just going to say that the highlight and balayage are synonymous. That's just what they want. It's a balayage effect, probably with the vivid color, but they want a red-violet base color. And they're down for anything with the ends. They just want vivid color. I purposely put that yellow to blue fade in that dye because I thought it was crazy. To throw people off.
That is crazy.
Depending on where the light pieces are, I'd probably use them to add the red violet on. So like enhancing pieces of their colour that's already there.
Yeah.
And then because they've said highlight and balayage. So some bits I'd probably take up and then some bits I'd probably weave down. So kind of give like a combination of tone.
Yeah, I like that.
Nice.
And so it's kind of like highlighted and balayage at the same time, but with like teasy lights.
Yeah, I like that. I feel like I'm trying to think of this. Really, this is when it feels like it has me stumped. I like both of these solutions.
I think the vivid colours stump me a bit, but
it's a hard one, isn't it? Because it's like having natural white patches plus being quite dark, having the old perm, but then these color choices.
Yeah, it's the color.
Yeah,
it's almost like even if you did something that is a red violet, and then again having some areas, pieces that were red violet, and then maybe where the white hair is going blue and yellow, and having a melt maybe in those areas. So it's almost like secret panels, depending on where the white hair is.
Oh, I like that.
So you could globally be more red violet, and then if let's say the white hair is around the temples, and then that could be a blue going into a yellow and having the red over the top, the red violet over the top,
that
then
would
you've
actually
got more
work.
of a classy. That would work, wouldn't it? So that I love this scenario. You can imagine where things are, can't you?
Yeah. And we all like think differently. Like I was thinking, like if there are places underneath, and then like you could have hidden pieces using either the red, violet, or the blue. I forgot about the blue, but you could use blue or the violet, or you can really make it dimensional.
Yeah. No, it sounds like someone trying to support a sports team. Maybe the colors are blue and gold. They just want that red violet color with some
City over it.
No, I really like that solution, is with sort of like a peekaboo highlight, fading from like a blue to a gold. Especially if you can, I would say only if you can leverage the white parts, because I wouldn't want to bleach over a perm and hope to get a gold.
No, definitely not. Yeah.
No, might be bad news.
No.
I used to wear a perm in my hair, and then I bleached it, and just for science, and it was terrible. It was.
I find it hard when we're actually looking at, when we're bleaching even coily hair or curly hair, and the fact of the way how the hair sits. I mean, you can see here with my bleached hair, living by the sea. I've tried to encourage a bit of that. I am very, very soft wave. But with my bleached hair, as soon as you get any curl to it, it appears more fluffy straight away, doesn't it? More desaturated, as in it looks thirsty. It doesn't sit well. So coily hair or curly hair that has any lightness, it's more exposed, doesn't it, in that way?
That cuticle never fully closes.
So I prefer to have more depth.
That's like my hair every day. It's like poofy.
It's so shiny though. It still looks like really healthy and shiny.
Yeah, see, that's the color masks I use. Yeah, they're really good. The color brand that I've got just brought them out. Like, they're amazing. Like, my hair feels amazing condition. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, and this is only 10.
I love them.
I've got
really good.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So what I'd like to ask you, Holland, is in the UK, our atmosphere is constantly damp. So it plays havoc with our hair. Is it the same where you are? Do you find that you have this humidity, or is it something that really because whether it's cold, which it is at the moment, or it's warm, we just have more, our humidity is quite high, the wetness in the actual atmosphere. So Rachel and I look like this constantly.
Drag through a hedge backwards look.
In Texas, it is it's hot and cold, and it can go dry like the desert, or it can go humid. So it's very polarized here, sometimes day to day. So like whatever your hair routine is this week might not work for you next week. People are often they're having to switch between products a lot.
Oh, I've literally loved this game. It's so good. It really gets you thinking outside the box.
Thank you so much. In the actual production version of the game, I have got a manual that it's just kind of like how to color hair. It's supposed to be a game manual, but it's a coloring guide. I have a very simplified version in like the app stores. I have some Apple codes for you, so if you want, you can download the app. and it's just you poke the dice and they randomize, just super basic.
Oh, that's so cool.
Love that. I've really enjoyed this game.
Thank you.
Me too. So much. It's been brilliant.
I've really enjoyed hanging out with both of you. Like, thank you so much for your time.